What is happening, my fellow geeks and geekettes? Welcome to Geeks and Geekettes. Now, this is a very special episode because this is the first episode on Rui's YouTube channel.
That's right, it is.
How are you, my friend?
Not bad, not bad.
We have got a lot of stuff to talk about because a lot has happened since the previous podcast. So, previous podcast was the final one on my channel, and now jump ship over to your channel.
Yep.
So, apart from this, what else are you going to be doing on your channel?
Oh, just the usual stuff, speed paintings and all that. I'm launching a Patreon soon, so you guys can help support and get more videos out and more podcasts, hopefully. So, yeah.
Perfect, man. So today's topics, we've got three off the top of my head. We've got Shazam, Avengers Infinity War, and our little date night that we had to the Pacific Rim Uprising Q&A here in Sydney. And we also got to see the first 13 minutes of the film and 2 clips, as well as meet John Boyega, Scott Eastwood, and the director of the film.
Yeah, that was surreal.
That was cool. That was really, really cool. In terms of what you saw of the film so far, what did you think compared to the first one?
I watched the first one again the next day after coming back from it. Look, I can't say much. I really like the designs. It looks like they've completely turned the saturation up in the whole movie, because I realized how dark the first Pacific Rim was in terms of saturation. Look, I don't know. It looks fresh. It looks different. So I'm not going to go in expecting it to be exactly like the first one, because it looks like they've revamped a couple of things.
And you don't have Del Toro here this time around, so obviously visually it's going to be a bit different. Yeah. But from what I saw, it looked great. So like I said, we had the first 13 minutes, which were great, jam-packed, it was funny, and then they showed us a clip, because a lot of people may not know, it was filmed here in Sydney. So we got to see we got to see a clip where it was this scene was purely based in the Sydney CBD with 2 Jaegers
on Pitt Street.
Yeah, on Pitt Street with 2 Jaegers handing each other's nutsacks to one another. And
we had Rock'em Sock'em live in Sydney.
Yeah, town halls getting smushed and everything, and the whole crowd is going nuts.
We loved it.
There's something about seeing our city being destroyed. We say that with love.
With love,
we're being involved and we're helping.
Yeah, we're helping.
We're helping.
We're helping by giving them a battlefield.
That's exactly right. We're providing them a service.
Yeah.
So not only that, we also got to see a clip from Tokyo, and the funny thing is they didn't step foot in Tokyo.
No, they filmed a lot of it here in the Gold Coast, wasn't it?
The Gold Coast as well, yeah. Fox Studios and up on the Gold Coast, because the director said they can't get permits to close down roads in Tokyo. So they got some plate shots, just aerial shots. Yeah. For reference, I guess, for the CGI, and then they just had to build the whole thing from the ground up.
I guess that most of that fight is CGI, so...
Oh, God, I doubt that... I'd like to know what small percentage is even practical. Yeah. I guess it's when they're in the Jaegers... that apparently they were sets.
That whole area was practical.
It was built on a gimbal, so they could move and get a feel for it.
It's crazy.
But yeah, man, that was a great night. I'm actually really keen to see it.
Yeah, me too.
And I got to see Tomb Raider.
I don't have my hopes up for that.
No, I've heard a lot of mixed things. Yeah. Some people, the big guys that I follow on YouTube,
Jones.
Yeah, they said it's pretty good.
They said it started off great and then ended shocking.
Yeah, something went askew towards the end.
I'm actually keen to see what went askew.
Yeah, I'm just like, what does Drake come into it, or what's going?
Drake shows up. Oh my God!
Imagine that. Man, I'd wet my duds. I'm going to see Ready Player One next week.
Yes,
the premiere's next Wednesday night. They always have these things every Wednesday, on a Wednesday, like what we went to.
Oh, is it always on a Wednesday? Oh, that's right. Yeah, movies come out on a Wednesday.
Yeah, I had the I was supposed to go to the Tomb Raider premiere on Wednesday night, but I've just been swamped with orders and.
I'm sure. I've seen. Good job on the cars, man.
Thanks, man. Getting there, but yeah. So what else we got to talk about? What do you want to talk about? Shazam or Infinity War first?
We'll leave Infinity War for last, because I feel like by the time this podcast comes out, the trailer would have been out by now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So we don't know what the trailer is. I've only seen. I don't know. Have you seen the teaser for the trailer?
It just says tomorrow.
Yeah.
With the giant A.
And I just saw a little bit of like that Thanos' ship crashing through a building or something.
Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't stick around. I only saw it going through my news feed.
It wasn't that like...
Yeah, they're just like
out.
teaser of a teaser of a teaser.
It's the same shot every time of Tony Stark taking off his goddamn glasses, looking into the sky. I'm sick of that.
He looks like David Caruso from CSI Miami. After he does that, yeah.
the Avengers looking comes up.
It's introducing them all in Thanos. But Shazam. So all the set photos are officially, well, not officially, they're starting to all leak and surface, and you think they'd put an official photo up by now?
Exactly. Like we've seen the full suit already.
Yeah.
People are skeptical about it because of the padding underneath. Why not show the official photo and say, look, everything's going to be okay. This is what it looks like.
Well, that's the thing. And you got to take into account that, usually they release an official photo of how the suit is going to look in the film with filters and if there's any CGI maybe on the lightning bolt on his chest.
Yeah.
I doubt it because I didn't see any motion capture dots on his suit at all. But then these set photos leak. And the suit just looks very plain Jane. It's in broad daylight, no controlled lighting, no nothing. Mind you, it's still a great interpretation of the suit. It's very faithful.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like I expected a bit more. And we talked about this before we started this morning. The muscle suit just doesn't look right.
It looks awkward.
It looks like someone got a Flex Design muscle suit for cosplay and just put a bodysuit over it. Like
the turtle shell belly,
The Batfleck belly,
the bodybuilder, belly, where like it's like
bloated roids,
but it's got abs on it, so it looks like a turtle shell.
He's like Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah, pretty much. It's weird. It's like I don't know. I feel uncomfortable like looking at it.
Yeah, like there's a set photo of him sitting down in a car or like in a roofless car or something like that, and his belly is just sticking out like mine does after 6 beers. But apart from that, like I think he's a great choice for the role. Obviously, people were skeptical 100%. At first.
Like his personality and his charisma just works.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Well with Shazam. It's just I wish the costume. Oh, I have faith that they'll fix the costume, but Warner Brothers isn't on the best roll.
No, look, and all things aside, it is a neat looking costume. I would like to know who made it. Of course, it's going to eventually come out who made the costume. Whether it be Ironhead or whoever. It could be based in the UK, like the same mob who did the Justice League suits. And there's also set photos of him up against Mark Strong. The actor Mark Strong. So
it looks very faithful to the comic book. Everything looks very faithful to the comic book, which is
absolutely.
I haven't read anything of Shazam.
Neither.
Yeah, all I know of Shazam is from video games because I've never been like that big of a Shazam fan. He looked a bit too cheesy for me.
I think yeah, but I think that's totally the idea though, because it's a kid.
Yeah. I feel like they're probably going to go for a Thor Ragnarok vibe on this movie.
In terms of the humor and tone. Yeah, definitely. You have to with that kind of story structure. And mythology of a kid turning into a full-grown man.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's definitely got to be humor.
They should take a lot of cues from Big.
Oh yeah,
they really should.
Definitely, or like suddenly 30.
like he wakes up and he's like in this muscly grown man body.
Exactly. But look, I like the suit for the most part. I just wish the red part of it, even though it is a textured bodysuit, I don't know. I wish it had just a bit more depth to it instead of...
It's very vibrant. It's just like a flat red, but vibrant red.
Yeah, look, it looks like... It looks like a cosplayer, but a really damn good cosplayer has done it. Like, it's just... It's flawless. Yeah. Like, it's neat.
But it still looks like not a cheap costume, but it's not like a grounded costume. Like, you've got Man of Steel... You've got Superman's costume who's got... all those like scales and there's the Kryptonian like
the plating underneath. Like I'm thinking now, if I saw him standing next to the Justice League,
you'd be like,
he sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
because you've got Aquaman's costume, which is like this really cool like.
They're all very dark.
Yeah. And Batman, but then you got this like bright, shining, standing out like. The first person who's going to get attacked is Shazam for sure, because they're just going to see red. And
exactly.
Chase him. Yeah.
Like you look at the Flash's costume. It's not over the top like in the comics.
Flash
It's
like...
dulled down a bit. But I'm guessing, like, we can't compare Justice League to Shazam because completely different story, completely different characters. But, you know, we just got to try and learn to trust DC.
Or Warner Brothers. I trust DC. I don't know about Warner Brothers.
That's it. Famous last words.
Yeah.
But apart from that, like, when's it supposed to come out?
Next year?
Okay.
Because we've got Aquaman coming out this
That's
year.
the end of the year. We got Deadpool 2 in May.
Deadpool 2.
That's just getting so close.
Yeah. We've got... there's something else coming out in May.
What else we got? So we got Infinity War at the end of next month.
Yeah.
And did you see Black Panther cross the $1 billion mark?
2.1 billion.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I'm pretty sure.
It's beat The Dark Knight of all time in terms of box office takings, which is it's crazy, but it's good to see.
I want to know like how they're going to do the sequel because
no pressure.
No pressure, yeah.
At all. If Ryan Coogler comes back in the cast, they'll be fine.
Coming back.
Oh yeah, he's a great director.
Yeah.
Did you like Creed?
Creed was one of my favorite movies. Like,
Creed was great. It was like at first I thought, it's just like a cash cow for the Rocky franchise, but
yeah, that's what I thought too when I heard about it. I was like, why are they doing this? Why are they bringing this all of a sudden into it? And it's out of all the Rockies, this might be. Yeah, it's my second favorite Rocky.
It's actually my favorite.
My first is Rocky 4 when he fights Russian.
Drago?
Yeah, Ivan Drago.
I will break you.
I love it. I love it so much.
So you know it's Drago's son.
Yeah.
First in Creed and Creed 2. I don't know if Coogler's coming back.
No, he's not.
Oh, bugger.
He's a producer.
Okay. Well, that's kind of good. Yeah. He'll be there as a consultant as well,
Sly
I guess.
wrote the script.
No way.
Yeah.
He was great in Creed.
Yeah. He made me cry, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, he hit a lot of emotional beats in that movie.
This guy's been part of our childhood. Like we grew up with him, Arnie and Bruce Willis being like the action heroes and a bit of Van Damme.
Yeah.
I was on the end of Van Damme.
Oh, Van Damme and Seagal are like the poor man's Sly and Arnie.
Like, do you remember Demolition Man?
Oh, I love that movie.
Love Demolition Man.
Him and
so
Wesley
good.
Snipes.
How over the top is Wesley Snipes? Like sometimes I watch that movie and I'm like, you know what? Make him the Joker.
Yeah. Oh my. Did you see the Tommy Wiseau?
Yeah.
Killed the Batman. Ah.
Just do it for fun. Have him be one of the goons.
Yeah. He actually, his laugh is pretty good as the Joker. For those who don't know, we're talking about Tommy Wiseau, who... Have you seen The Room? Oh my god, yeah. So
It's shocking.
Oh, it's so good. It's bad. But yeah, they put him in Joker makeup and got him to recite some lines from Ledger and Nicholson's Joker. And it was the best thing I've ever seen. It was actually a good show reel for him.
How has he done this? I'm
I don't know.
So confused with how life works that this guy has made it.
That's it. It's just he's done... But I think it's his passion and drive, regardless of what's happened to him.
I still haven't seen Disaster Artist.
Me neither.
Really?
Yeah, I really should watch it because I'm such an avid fan of The Room and Franco and...
Yeah. But I've heard that it touches on that subject, that his passion and...
Yeah, that's it.
Pushing forward.
It kind of takes you by surprise because it's not the cookie cutter autobiographical throw stuff in there that didn't happen. It's actually
Apparently he's from New Orleans.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, he was born and bred all-American man.
All-American man.
He's like, Johnny, all-American man. Johnny also maybe be vampire. Oh, hi, Rui.
Oh, hi.
Where the hell did we go? We just went off on the biggest tangent. Shazam, Justice League, Tommy Wiseau.
Wesley. Oh, we're talking about Creed.
Oh, Creed.
Ryan Coogler.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Black Panther.
Black Panther, yeah. Ryan Coogler, I'm pretty sure he said he's definitely doing the second, unless something happens in between.
I think he has to, and Marvel are probably going to throw a lot of money his way for a director's fee, and he'd expect it now because he's made them a lot of money.
Oh, he can definitely push his contract further. 100%. Look how much leverage he has.
Well, that's it, but he changed the game of Marvel films. He did something so different.
He's so smart with what he does because if you watch, he leaves little signatures of himself in the movie. So if someone tries to replicate it for the next movie or try to be similar to it, it's not going to have the same Ryan Coogler vibe because he's the one that comes up with those crazy shots. Dude, that completely spinning shot as Killmonger's walking into the throne room.
Oh, yeah.
How weird is that?
Yeah. Like, technically, how the hell did they do
I watched him explain there's like a thing that Vanity Fair does where they get the director to go through a scene in the movie and explain.
Oh, yeah.
And you know that... spoilers for anyone that hasn't seen any Black Panther.
Cover your ears, people.
Well, it's been like 2 months. So,
yeah, you've had enough time.
Yeah, you've had enough time, but if not, just skip 5 minutes. That scene where they're fighting Ulysses Claw in the nightclub.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a shot that goes from the ground and then it moves its way up to the balcony.
Yes.
That wasn't CGI.
That was all done in one.
They stuck... he's really psychotic for one-shot takes. So with Creed, there was a one-shot take with like the boxing scene. I think I've spoken about it.
Yeah, that whole boxing match was one
The first
one shot.
round was one shot.
Yeah.
And he's done a similar thing with that Ulysses Claw fight where the fight is happening on the first floor.
But it goes up to the banister.
Yeah, so the camera's on a wire.
Right.
So they stick it on a wire and then they pull it up and then a guy grabs it as it comes up and then goes back to handheld and then goes through the fight.
On a steady cam at all? Or like,
yeah.
Because I forget if that shot was smooth or supposed to be shaky cam.
There wasn't much shaky cam in...
Oh, okay. Because I know which shot you're talking about. I can't remember if it was like a smooth tracker or...
I think he's normally really good with camera shots and... Yeah, it's just like whenever I lose my shit for cinematography and how directors...
Same, man. It's crazy. Well, this is our first podcast since the Oscars as well.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Shape of Water. I still have to see that. The fishy love story.
Fishy love story.
It looked beautiful. It's typical Del Toro. Have you seen Pan's Labyrinth?
Yes, I have.
Oh man, I love that. That's a great film.
That is one of my favorite of his, like that he's designed.
Yeah.
And also Hellboy 2.
Hellboy 2 is
You know
great.
when they go to that, like I forgot what it was called, but that demonic market.
Yeah.
Area,
Yeah.
You've got all these like demons and creatures, and I was just like, this is so cool. This is so cool.
Visually, like whatever he does,
practical and it's amazing. And there's like that's why I enjoy the new Star Wars movies so much because they've got that blend.
The practical. They try and override the practical to the digital, which is great because it's a throwback to the originals.
And also, it's convincing,
Yeah.
Because they've started the world with practical stuff, and then they move to CGI. It's very jarring.
It is.
So if you have, because you've already established this world that creatures look like puppets, like Yoda looks like a puppet. Then change him to CGI afterwards, just because it's more practical, it doesn't work.
Yeah, and CGI is so quick to smash out these days. Like, several years ago, like it's not that long ago, films would take ages to be released because of the CGI. Now they're just quickly.
So quick,
it's crazy.
You've got these powerhouses just like working.
All these visual effects companies that because they don't just hire one for a movie, they hire several.
Oh yeah, like people don't know this. Like it's not Marvel that does the CGI.
No, they outsource.
Outsource from everywhere. Like one of the local places, Animal Logic, works on a lot of Warner Brothers stuff.
They're so big, mate. So Chris Elder, who does my cosplay photography, his brother animated Groot and Rocket. And he did the opening shot of Volume 2. Yeah,
I have a mate that...
he's in London.
That animated Slimer from the new Ghostbusters movie.
Wow.
Because that was a great movie.
Yeah, that was a blockbuster, man. You know what? I didn't mind it, and really? I did a review on it, and the hate I got for it.
Really?
Oh, man, I've never seen a film that left everyone so divided and angry.
I think it was...
And everyone's like, oh, because it's girls. I'm like, well, you got a problem with yourself, first off, if you got to say that, mate.
Yeah, that wasn't the issue. My issue was that, not to get too much into politics, my issue was that I was fine with like an all-female cast. I was like, that's awesome.
I thought they were great together.
The jokes in that movie were mostly like man-hating jokes.
Yeah, that was...
pretty much all the men in that movie were portrayed as either dumb...
Like Hemsworth?
Yeah, dumb, a douchebag, or like a non-believer, and they don't like. There was no like supportive male.
Yeah, I must say though, Hemsworth did make me laugh.
Yeah, he was the funniest part of the
because his improv was crazy good. But for the most part, I thought the four of them worked pretty well together. But yeah, it was kind of cringy in some parts. But I guess like no matter how hard you try, if you try and remake Ghostbusters, it's never going to be the same as what the crew did back in '84.
It's one of those untouchable. Like don't
it is. You shouldn't really mess with it.
Back to the Future. Don't touch Back to the Future.
Oh, if they did. Oh my god. Now I'm beyond happy because Gary Oldman finally got an Oscar.
Yes, he did.
It's like the Leo DiCaprio scenario.
I know.
Finally.
But even he was an underdog in that because everyone was talking about Leo. I'm just like, I never realized that Gary Oldman never won an Oscar.
No, I don't even know if he'd been nominated for an Oscar. Correct me if I'm wrong. He may have been.
No, actually, he hasn't.
Yeah.
I think this was his first nomination.
Because usually when they get up
How does that work?
I don't know. Like, have you seen True Romance?
Yes, he's a chameleon, dude.
He's crazy. And then obviously Mason Verger in Hannibal.
Yeah.
Commissioner Gordon's great. But yeah, this one I think, and I forget the Japanese makeup artist who got the Oscar for Darkest Hour, who did his makeup.
Oh yeah.
Like the pair of them, they're a powerhouse team. Like, you got this great makeup artist and his crew. And an amazing actor, and I watched it actually a featurette last night on YouTube. It goes for 5 minutes of them doing the makeup for Gary. It's crazy, man. And they every time they took the makeup off him, they laid it down, and they had this big silicon pile by the end that weighed 40 kilos. So I think he was in the makeup chair, he said, for a total of 200 hours.
Oh,
yeah,
my god,
yeah, crazy, man. And the makeup's flawless.
Yeah,
absolutely flawless.
I was stunned when I saw it. I was like, I can't see a bit of Gary Oldman.
No, and the funny thing is, I really should learn his name. The Japanese makeup artist. He came out of retirement for it.
I heard about that.
Because Gary Oldman went to him and said, "You're the only guy that can do this, that can pull it off." And the reason why he retired was he quit being a makeup artist after The Grinch because of how bad Jim Carrey treated everyone.
What's The Grinch?
He did The Grinch, like he did Carrey's makeup. Apparently, Carrey was such a mind screw that he quit. He just didn't do makeup after that.
All I heard was that he quit because actors
couldn't
sit still.
It was Jim Carrey.
Really?
Jim Carrey was horrible.
I'm starting to hear some things about Jim Carrey.
Oh, it's all coming out now.
I love him. But
that's the thing. I grew up with him, man. Like Dumb and Dumber, The Mask, Ace Ventura.
Yeah, man.
And now he looks like a homeless man.
Have you seen the documentary on
Jim and Andy?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cringy.
It's scary, man.
But in the best way possible. It's amazing to see what an actor will go to, even if he gets into a fist fight.
It's a very good character study on because he talks about how he didn't really like himself. So he'd become it's easier for him to become other people.
That's why he stayed in character as Andy Kaufman.
Yeah, because he felt confident as Andy Kaufman.
And he refused to be called Jim.
The fact that you can convince your brain that you're someone else.
That's weird.
It's weird.
I'd hate to be inside his head.
Well, I've heard stories that Gary Oldman had to actually have lessons to get his old accent back because he started playing too many American characters.
Really?
Yeah. So even now, if you listen to him talk, he still has like an American accent.
Yeah, it's like Bale. Bale says some word. Christian Bale says some words in American.
Yeah. Well, sometimes he does interviews while he's filming something as an American character. He does interviews with the American accent.
I remember he'd always do it for the press junket for the Dark Knight trilogy because I think he didn't want people getting discouraged that a Pom was playing Batman.
Yeah,
that's what I've heard. Look, and I understand because Batman's American, and but it's Nolan. Nolan loves his UK based crew and actors, and to me, they do a pretty damn good job. I saw a video of Gary Oldman doing an impression of Robert De Niro.
How good was it?
He's like, I gotta get some screws. And he does Christopher Walken. He's so good, but
he really deserves it, and it was a long time coming.
Yeah, and now Frances McDormand won Best Actress for 3 Billboards. I still got to see that.
Same.
So I was so happy Sam Rockwell
was nominated.
Well, he won.
Yeah,
he won Best Supporting Actor. He's such an underrated actor.
He's really funny too.
He is very funny, man. I loved him in Charlie's Angels. That's my guilty pleasure movie.
I forgot the name of the movie, but he's in a really funny movie with Christopher Walken.
Oh, right.
Damn it, I forgot what it's called. People are going to get so annoyed.
Is it recent?
No, it's not that recent.
Oh, okay.
It's...
So I remember him in the Green Mile. He was just like scary in the Green Mile. But he was like, his first gig was in the Ninja Turtles movie.
Was it?
In the 1991, he plays a thug that works for Shredder.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, anything you guys want, anything you want to do it. And the kid's like, got any cigarettes? He's like, regular or menthol?
Wow, that's like me finding out that Billy Zane was in Back to the Future as like...
He's so young.
Yeah.
I'm like, this guy goes on to play the Phantom. I loved him as the
Oh,
Phantom.
Man. I'm not a fan of the Phantom.
Really?
I know, it's a dishonor to Australian culture.
It's a very old...
Very cheesy.
Yeah, it's like the kind of swashbuckling it should have stayed in the 30s.
His costume.
I wonder if cosplay's in one day.
Are you actually? Please.
I'm serious, man. I'm serious with the trunks and everything.
Not hard.
No, it's not hard. Be a bit tight and everything, but see how it goes.
You got to lose a lot of muscle for that one.
Oh, no, did you see? He was a rig in that.
No, he wasn't.
Dude, he trained for a year in it. He's huge in that. Billy Zane, he's a tank in that. They didn't use a muscle suit either because he got that big for it.
I'm just thinking it's for the Phantom. Like,
I know.
The world doesn't give a shit about
No.
And you train for a year.
3/4 of the world are like, you mean the Phantom of the Opera?
Yeah, they're like, what's the Phantom? And then they watch it and they're like, where's he? He's in bright purple.
I've watched the Nostalgia Critics review of the Phantom. It's the funniest thing. He's like, why would you wear fucking purple in the jungle? It's so camouflage. He's like, he's like, look out! It's the most flamboyant thing I've ever seen.
Like I get it. You have to be like dedicated to the role. So if you're going to be any other superhero, but the Phantom's not even that ripped in the comic books.
Oh, look, he's a bit jacked, but you know, he's no Batman. And it's kind of built around a lie where everyone thinks he's invincible, but it's just the father, the son, the father, the son.
Everyone dies.
Yeah, just like, well, this is just how...
That's kind of like how Black Panther works, though.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of like, are you immortal? Infinity War.
Infinity War.
Okay, so we got a trailer dropping tomorrow. So obviously we've seen all the teaser.
Probably tonight, if it's an American...
Well, yeah, because like, I don't know when their trailers usually drop in the States. So usually by the time I wake up in the morning, it's all over the net. And there's like, I'll go on Instagram, and the only reason I'll know is because everyone's posted screen caps. And I'm like, I've already ruined the trailer for myself.
Yeah.
What are your expectations when this film comes out?
Jesus Christ. It's that... Look, I'm trying to keep my expectations low, but it's really hard when 10 years... Like, I was still in high school when the first Avengers came out, and they showed Thanos.
Yeah.
And I was like, who's that? And then I found out, and I started reading up on it. And so it's 10 years build up.
10 years since Iron Man 1.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to not have your expectations high.
Especially when you've got this many characters colliding. And I think 2 hours and 36 minutes the runtime is. The clocked runtime.
I'd watch it for 4 hours. I'd watch a 4-hour movie.
That's why they're doing, 1 and 2.
Put an intermission in between.
Yeah, that's it. That's why they've done part 1 and part 2. But it's cool to see all the promo stuff coming out now, just seeing more and more, but not to the point where it's going to spoil it. I do want to see how the Guardians interact with everyone else.
I don't think the Guardians are going to be interacting with everyone else in this movie.
Obviously with Thor.
I think that it's just going to be Thor.
You reckon?
I reckon it's going to be 2 separate storylines, because the way the Russo brothers explained the movie, they said it's a big heist movie. They've treated it like a heist movie, like Thanos is trying to get the stones. And the stones are scattered. So I'm thinking there's going to be a part where maybe at the end of the movie they all join up, but there's going to be 2 separate scenarios happening where I think Thanos is going to be taking on most of, like, maybe Iron Man might show up with Thor and the Guardians.
Well, you've also got Cap, Hulk, Black Widow, Bucky in Wakanda.
They're doing their own thing in Wakanda.
Because, spoiler alert, the post-credits scene in Black Panther with Bucky in Wakanda. It all makes sense. So obviously they're either going to come to his aid or...
Have you seen his arm?
Yeah, it looks sick. The gold, I love it. So streamlined now.
Well, one of the Instagram artists, Aussie Jackson... Shit, I forgot his last name. Sorry, man.
Aussie Jackson?
He actually does this concept art of what he thinks would happen in Infinity War. And he was talking about how Cap's shield or Winter Soldier's arm would have that shock absorption that Black Panther had.
So,
like, when it gets hit, it creates like this, and then he can like hit the ground and creates a shockwave.
Right, okay. Because obviously he didn't have his arm in the post-credits scene.
As a shield, like for Cap's shield to like absorb shock and then redistribute it back.
Well, yeah, the Wakanda shield, or shields, I should say, that he has.
Combines into one.
I think so, but from they released a cover on Entertainment Weekly of Cap.
It's got the purple on it.
It's like it's absorbing a shock, so it's obviously going to have the same tech as the Black Panther suits, which is really cool because he needs a shield. You know,
he does need a shield.
Get this man a shield.
Sound like Arnie.
Get him a shield.
Get him a shield now.
Get to the shield.
Get to Wakanda.
Wakanda forever.
Quickly.
Yeah, my hopes are just ridiculously high, but I know they're gonna.
Have you seen the Bleeding Edge Iron Man suit?
The Bleeding Edge Iron Man?
It's called the Bleeding Edge. His new Iron Man suit.
Like the latest mark.
The latest one.
Yeah, it's like the really smooth. It looks like a prototype car.
Have you seen the things behind it?
It's what Spider-Man has as well.
No, he's got like because he's supposed to go in space with it.
Right.
So it's thrusters.
Oh right.
So he's gonna be fighting in space, dude. He's
That's
like
pretty
prepared
cool
for this.
And then Spider-Man's got like Doc Ock arms on the Iron Spider suit.
Does he?
Yeah. If you've seen the figures that are coming out now, he's got like the big.
So it's the Iron Spider. They've confirmed it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Iron Spider-Man. You look at the suit, you're like, that's. You know, it's got Stark tech and plating written all over
Actually, now that I remember it, I watched the leaked footage from
Comic Con. Yeah.
And I think Star-Lord, Doctor Strange, and Iron Man are in a scene together.
Right, okay.
It's similar to the scene where Thanos gives Tony Stark the right hook from hell.
Oh, that looked brutal.
Man, what a punch.
I don't want to know what his face looks like under that helmet. Smush.
To get hit like that.
Yeah.
Damn.
Jeez, he copped it. Yeah, so like last month they wrapped part 2. So I don't know what happens from there. Like who's wrapped for good? Like
It's scary.
Who's done and dusted? Like, and then what happens with Phase 4?
Yeah, I'm excited about it because
obviously we've got Black Panther.
Yeah, we've got. Well, they've confirmed Black Panther, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But some of the other ones they haven't confirmed. So there's no new Iron Man movie.
Like who's going to cark it in their contract?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. Yeah, it's exciting times, nerve-wracking times, but it's like Marvel are going to get their money back and so much more because it's what we've all been waiting for. It's what we've all been gearing up for. So we knew this was going to happen. I guess it's like, you know, The Dark Knight Rises. It's just like everything's coming to a head.
Yeah.
So, and Thanos, I love the look of Thanos.
Thanos looks great.
And you've got a great actor doing the mocap and the suit, the voice for it.
Josh Brolin is on a roll.
Yeah, like, you know, this man's like Thanos and Cable.
Yeah, man. Like he's just continued, like, and Jonah Hex, don't forget.
Oh, Jonah Hex. Yeah, let's not talk about that. Bloody Jonah Hex. But yeah, man, I don't even know when part 2's supposed to even come out. Like, I'm guessing like a year, 2 years from now.
We're going to get a cliffhanger at the end of Infinity War.
Of course we will. It's going to be to be continued.
Yeah.
Everyone in the movie is going to riot.
Yeah.
Including you and me.
Yeah. I'm just going to be like, damn it, man. I got to wait another 10 years for this.
We just throw our pants at the screen and run out in our undies. Don't you hate pants?
I rebel.
Yeah. We set our pants on fire.
Just riffed for 2 seconds. With the audience, talk to them. Be sensual.
Oh, be sensual. Right, okay. I think Rui's going to close the window because there's some construction work going on next door. But yeah, I'm actually doing a Nomad cosplay at the moment, Captain Nomad. So the more footage that gets out and the more reference photos that come out make me realize how excited I am to see how Cap is and where he is mentally in this universe. He looks very broken.
He does look broken. He looks like he's been through some shit, but he also looks like refreshed. You know?
He's kind of like not reinvented himself, but he's kind of at peace with himself. If that makes sense.
Like Gandalf the White.
Yeah, that's it. He's come back from, he's gone grey to white, or in this case, he's just beard and
white to grey.
Exactly. Because I actually saw a set video yesterday of him and Scarlett Johansson. He's in costume, sitting there with all these nomad stuff on. He looks great. I love it.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite costumes now.
I'm so happy that they just went a different route from the Boy Scout look.
Yeah.
So,
well, after the Civil War, how can he be a Boy Scout? Like he
screwed up.
He's fought his friends.
Yeah,
everyone's against him now.
Yeah, he kind of.
He's gone from being the American hero to the American villain.
That's it. The great American villain.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Anything else you want to say about Infinity War? Like anything else?
There's a lot that they haven't shown, and also we have no idea where the Soul Stone is. I thought it'd be shown in Black Panther, but now the Heimdall theory is actually making a lot of sense.
Yeah,
he's got it, man. That's him.
That may be the big cliffhanger.
He's still around.
Yeah,
everyone else perished in Thor Ragnarok. Who do you think will die in this one?
Oh, dude, I don't. It's a big call. I'm thinking possibly Cap.
Really?
Cap or Bucky, both.
I thought about this the other day. You know who I think?
Loki? I have a feeling Loki may sacrifice himself.
He's going to have a redemption.
Yeah, like, clear his name and do good for once. Yeah, possibly.
Asgard's gone.
Oh, yeah, Asgard's gone. And, he's kind of got this chip on his shoulder. And maybe he has to go out, not with a bang, but... finally do good without having to go back to being bad.
He was part of that. He felt what it was like to be a hero at the end of Thor Ragnarok because he helped everyone get on the ship and then he stayed on the ship. And I think what's going to happen, my prediction is Thanos is going to attack the ship.
Yep.
And that's when you see that scene of him giving the Tesseract to Thanos because he's forced to.
Yep.
Who knows, maybe he might die then. Maybe not.
Who knows? Have you seen Thor's weapon? The axe thing? The axe thing. It looks like Groot's made the stem for it.
Really?
The handle for it. Well, it's the axe, but with a tree handle wrapped around it. Groot would have done something. Because you look at all the publicity stuff, the Hot Toys stuff, all the Hot Toys that are coming out. It's him, Groot, and Rocket. Thor, Groot, and Rocket.
Yeah.
So... because that leaked footage, Thor slams into their ship.
Yeah,
he's floating in space.
He doesn't have an eye patch.
They probably added that later.
Yeah, they added it later for sure because this was way before Thor Ragnarok came out.
Right. It's funny, all the action figures that are coming out in Big W and Target, he doesn't have an eye patch.
Oh, really?
He doesn't have the eye patch. He's got a scar going down his eye, but there's no eye patch.
Maybe he gets his eye back.
I don't know what the heck's going on, but
Make up your
I
mind.
love the eye patch.
Yeah, he's turning into Odin.
Yeah, but I just love the short hair, the new suit. Looks like a badass. He always looked like a badass.
He has a new suit again in.
He's got the suit he has in the end credits of Ragnarok is pretty much the same as the one in Infinity War. Yeah. Black.
Does he have sleeves? I forgot if he has sleeves.
I think both. The scales. Sleeves, yeah. The scales generate over his arms, possibly. But I love the new suit. The whole crew just looks great. They just, I hope
that's 10 years of world building.
That's the thing,
We've never seen this done before.
That's it, and they've gone from strength to strength, and all the Iron Man suits, the Cap suits.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Have you seen Hawkeye with his mohawk?
Yes,
looks badass.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm annoyed that they missed him out on the entertainment cover. They didn't put him on.
Wasn't he?
No.
Oh man, right? Okay, I didn't look at all the variants. Yeah, Black Widow's. I think she's sharing it with someone. I could be wrong. No, Cap's got his own. I do remember seeing Scarlet on the cover.
They're missing a couple of people.
She looks sick. Yeah. Scarlet looks great.
I'm really excited just to see where this leads because then we've got Captain Marvel.
Yeah, see, that's going to be
couple
interesting.
miles in between or after?
I got no idea, man. I couldn't tell you in terms of the timeline.
Because we've got Ant-Man and the Wasp. Ant-Man isn't in this movie.
That comes out this year, doesn't it? Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yeah.
Ant-Man isn't in this one.
He is.
I haven't seen him.
Really?
Yeah.
He was in part 2.
He's just really small.
He was filming with them in part 2 with the flashback stuff to the first Avengers. Have you seen that?
Oh, do you reckon it's flashback stuff?
I think it's time travel because they've all got these mechanisms on their hands that look like time travel.
So they're with Doctor Strange.
Could be, yeah, because they're all in their Avengers 1 costumes, like the Cap, the crappy Cap costume from the first Avengers.
Yeah.
Chris Evans is in that, and they've got all motion capture dots. Even Robert Downey Jr.'s got motion capture dots.
Ever since Back to the Future 2, when he goes back to the events of the first movie, how cool! I love stuff like that. When
seeing it from another point of view, or someone else's perspective, or
I reckon they're going to go through the wormhole.
All of them, yeah. The one that Tony went through and nearly died. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's just we're going to be exhausted by the end of these films. Like mentally,
we're going to be spoiled too.
Oh yeah, Marvel's been very good to us fans. They spoil us. I will tell you that. But yeah, I think we're in for a real treat. And then I'm gonna have to look up when part 2 comes out because that's just going to be
2020, isn't it?
Probably. If not, end of next year or something like that.
Probably.
Who knows?
May. I just remember what comes out in May.
What?
The Han Solo movie.
Oh, I'm not really.
No,
dude. I'm. People are probably gonna be like, "Why?" But look, Rogue One was great.
Yeah.
But
have you seen the deleted scenes for Last Jedi?
I've seen them. I've seen them on my newsfeed, but I haven't actually watched them.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the stuff that they put is really cool.
Is it going to be one of those things where they're going to put it on the Blu-ray or?
Yeah, it's on the Blu-ray.
Okay.
But it's not like a Zack Snyder cut where they extend them.
You have to go in and see them individually.
Yeah.
In the special features.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right.
Because most of the it's just little extra parts to.
But it's like BVS. Does it help explain or?
No, it just adds to it. So
okay.
there's an addition to Luke mourning Han Solo. So it goes a bit further into that.
Because you didn't really see much of that.
No.
At all.
And there's one behind the scenes thing where it got me emotional. It's Mark Hamill watching Frank Oz do the puppet work.
I saw that and he tears up and then Frank comes over and gives him a hug because he didn't know Mark was there.
And honestly, that's one of the scenes in The Last Jedi where I actually cried.
It was cool to see Puppet Yoda again.
Yeah, Puppet Yoda and then old Luke Skywalker, and I'm like, I'm getting emotional now just thinking about it. Because there's this,
it's our childhood, and then you see him as an old man, and then Yoda being Yoda again.
And then he still calls old Luke young Skywalker.
Yeah, exactly.
Miss you, I have. Yeah. I was just like, damn, dude, why you gotta do this to me?
But it was cool to see a non-pixel puppet.
Yeah. I think they had to. If they weren't...
They've learnt from their mistakes with what Lucas did in the prequels.
Some people disagree, but let's not get into that.
No, it's a whole nother kettle of fish. My God. That's another podcast in itself.
Oh, probably 3.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Episode 1, 2, and 3.
I'm a fan, just putting that out there. What Rian Johnson did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, me too. I liked it. I liked The Force Awakens better, but I think that was because of the whole hype surrounding it and the whole cast, the original cast.
Yeah.
Majority of them coming back.
Possibly even more hype than Infinity War, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, because it's Star Wars, man.
Everyone was losing their mind. I've never seen anything like that. To the point where this is the first time I ever felt annoyed about not going opening day. I
went to the midnight screening. I finished work at the airport at 10 o'clock at night and got there at Westfield, Miranda, near my place at 11:30. And midnight screening, I had 2 Vs, went home because I was just on a high from the film because it was great. Filmed my review, edited it, uploaded it, went to bed, then went to work.
You're insane.
I'd got it done.
You did.
I got it done, man. But yeah, the whole cinema, this is 11:30 night. There are little kids running around dressed up. That's how big of an impact these films have had.
Star Wars is Well, Star Wars, without Star Wars, we wouldn't have had half the movies that we have now.
Like, it was a game changer. People drew inspiration from them because it was so different.
Well, Guardians of the Galaxy, like, drew heaps of inspiration from Star Wars.
Oh, yeah. But even, like, the tech behind filmmaking.
Oh, yeah, Pixar wouldn't have come out.
Pixar, you got, Lucas had to create Industrial Light and Magic.
Yeah.
And they're like the leader.
They're pretty much like anything that looks good on movie, it's probably Industrial Light that's worked on it.
God, imagine if we got to go to Skywalker Ranch, where they have all the props and the miniatures in the Ark.
Now, have I told you the story about when I went to Disney World in Paris and I saw a full white X-Wing?
You've been to Euro Disney?
Yeah.
Me too.
In Paris?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, when I was little.
Oh, I was a grown man.
A grown man child.
I didn't look like a grown man. I'll tell you what. I ran to that X-wing and just
so cool.
Lost a plot. But that wasn't even like a legit. Like if I had.
But it's still an X-wing.
I'll tell you right now. If I got a chance to walk in the set of the Millennium Falcon and walk through those halls, I wouldn't make it out.
I'd cry.
I would 100% cry. If I sat in the chair...
I'd pass out.
Yeah, you just black out. Like...
wake up in the hospital and you're like, is this the Falcon?
What happened? I had the craziest dream.
It's like, this isn't the Millennium Falcon.
You wake up and Chewie's got like a wet towel over your head.
Cold compress. He's got a nurse's outfit on.
Like, what's happening? I don't understand.
Oh, man. Yeah, man. Infinity War, Star Wars, Shazam, Black Panther, the Oscars.
It's a good time to be a geek.
It's a good time to be alive, man. Very good time to be alive.
Seeing all this crazy stuff. Like, I was thinking about this today. With Warner Brothers, you know how they like kind of rushed it to match Marvel.
Yep.
I was thinking, like, if Infinity War was so close, right? Why not do that? Because after Infinity War, people will probably jump to Warner Brothers and watch a similar thing happen on Warner Brothers' end. So
you're saying if they had taken more time and care with Justice League and strategically released it after Infinity War? A couple of months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even a couple of months, probably like the year after, people would be like, all right, yeah, this is like starting, like Justice League being the Avengers, and they're like, all right, we're in for this roller coaster now.
You get more invested into
that other ride has ended.
Because there's no competition anymore.
Exactly.
Well, even though that there's still part 2 and phase 4, still, yeah.
After that, we don't know who the main bad guy is, who the big bad guy is.
No. And then you hear, like, Kevin Smith, like you said, say that, he spoke to someone in the audience that said Darkseid was in... They originally had Darkseid in the Avengers, and she goes, I got to see him with my own eyes, what he looked like.
In Justice League.
In Justice League, sorry. See, I'm comparing.
It's crossover, man.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, God. It's funny, when they interviewed all the cast for Justice League, they're like, what would you say about, doing a Marvel DC crossover? And they're like, hell yeah, all for it. Imagine that. Imagine the rage.
Oh, God.
Oh, I'd say.
Imagine the fight scene between Cap and Batman.
Oh. Again, the nutsacks would be handed to one another.
I would just be like, what's happening? It'd be like Deathstroke versus Batman.
Look, if I ever become a millionaire one day, and this is very hypothetical.
You become Batman?
No, because I have a really bad feeling about Affleck and Manganiello's future. Not on their behalf, but on Warner Brothers' behalf.
Yeah.
I would make sure that I could fund a fight scene between those two.
Yes.
Fund the whole thing, costumes, everything, just so us fanboys can die happy.
But it's a boxing match.
Yeah.
In costume with the gloves, but...
Manganiello would win because he's got that big, thick carbon fiber helmet.
Hey, you don't know, man. Ben Affleck's from Boston.
Oh. Kick your ass.
He's a rough fighter.
Oh, man. We've been going for ages. This is good.
We're on 49 minutes now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
People want it to be longer, so...
That's what she said?
So, I've got... I had an idea for the... Because I'm heading to Melbourne for Supernova.
Yep.
I might film a podcast with the boys in the car while we're driving.
You should. You totally should. Imagine the banter
It's that's what I'm worried about.
Well, don't be worried about that, man. God, imagine the laughs. It's all natural. Not to say that this isn't natural, but you know,
this is very natural.
It's boy banter in a car on a road trip.
Yeah,
like that is just banter 101.
Yeah, I'm just worried about like some of the stuff we say is.
Oh look,
it's like the stuff that we say off this, where like Chris and I, we're pretty crude.
We're very crude. But you know what? You gotta have a warped sense of humor.
100%.
If you don't have a warped sense of humor, if you're not,
life will punish you if you don't have a.
Well, that's it. If you're bloody high strung and uptight about it, you can have a bad time.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's it.
Humor saves everything.
But yeah, because you're planning to do a podcast or a couple of podcasts down there at the event, aren't you?
Yes. Well, I still haven't. There's a couple of special guests that I'm not going to say yet.
Yep. That
I'm planning on getting on the podcast.
Yep.
So that should be
whilst being down there.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Whilst being down there.
Yeah. Could be good. Like from what I'm not going to say names because that's keep that a surprise. But you've got artists, you've got cosplayers, you've all walks of life, which is great.
People down there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd love to have a chat with.
I
want Cameron on.
Oh yeah. Actually, I had a phone call with him this week, so he's been beavering away on his Batman Beyond suit, the Robin suit. The Robin suit's great. But yeah, his knowledge on everything. It covers every medium of construction when it comes to costuming. The guy's just all self-taught, and
he's like doing the leather work himself.
He does the leather work, he does the sewing, he does everything. And this dude's like, he's a
beast, man.
For the most part, just been a mechanic. And he does this, he did this in his spare time, and then he sent me all those Pirate Batman, that whole, arsenal. That's how we became friends. I called him one day and to thank him, and it ended up being a 3-hour conversation. And we still have 3-hour conversations. Yeah.
Almost like this one.
Yeah. Talk and dribble.
This podcast won't be 3 hours.
This podcast is sponsored by Banter.
This podcast is sponsored by 3-hour talks with mates.
Yeah.
So yeah, Melbourne is coming up soon. I'm excited about that. I've got a lot of prints coming out.
What are you working on at the moment?
A lot of stuff that I can't say.
Oh.
Actually, I have to tell you off the podcast because I haven't really told you yet.
Oh, okay.
There's something special happening.
I'm a bit nervous.
Yeah. Patreon, I think by the time this podcast comes out, my Patreon would have been launched. So
perfect.
That's where you guys can support.
So what are you? What's your what are you offering?
Well, I've mixed it with art and YouTube, so it's both of them because I feel like they go hand in hand. So it's just the usual stuff. You get artworks before I post them on Instagram, so you get the first look at it. You get process shots, so the further down you go. One of the rewards, which I think, if you're an artist that actually, an aspiring artist, I'll sit down with you like on Skype or Discord or something, and we'll go through one of your artworks, and I can tell you what you can improve and how. Like we'll go through your artworks, and if you need to ask me a couple questions on like, well, how do I get better at this, or how do I work on this, or how do I practice this? Like
it's a fantastic idea. That's good. It's just, and especially when it's personal and one-on-one.
Yeah.
People would appreciate that a lot more.
Well, if people are going to be supporting me on Patreon now, I need to give back to them.
That's it, and that's what it's all about. There's such a stigma with Patreon, but if you're smart about it and you actually put the effort in and the care for people that support you, it'll be great.
Well, it's to support the creators. Like YouTube isn't the best.
No, it definitely isn't. I heard something so relatable, because there are times when I have my loved ones tell me that you really need to get a full-time job.
I get that too, and it burns, doesn't it?
It does, and I understand where they're coming from, because they mean it with love, because they care. But at the same time, when we were in school, there was no real class for us.
Exactly.
And what we want to do.
Exactly.
I admire the people who know exactly what they want to do even before they finish high school, to go to uni and get a job. They've got it all set up. Granted, it is stressful through those years, 100%. But at the end of it, you come out with an education and a degree and all that, but there's no real degree for what it's a bit harder for us.
It's harder for us because it's pretty much, it's knowledge, but it's also hard work.
It is.
Because you've got so many other people doing the same thing, trying to make themselves known. And
standing out from the crowd.
Yeah, so you've got to stand out from the crowd, and I feel like the only way you can do that is pretty much by being yourself and being that sort of character to yourself. Like,
that's it.
Like, you can't be the next Jim Lee. You have to be the next. You
gotta be the next Rui.
Yeah.
So that, like, look at my for those who can't see, this is my iPhone.
6 rules to success.
Yeah. So, you know, trust yourself, break some rules, don't be afraid to fail, ignore the naysayers, work like hell, and give something back.
I used one of those rules of him on my unspoken tutorial about failure.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you have to fail.
100%.
If you don't fail, you're not doing it right.
Exactly. But you've got to keep working hard and that sort of stuff. And you got to find all these avenues. And if you guys really support artists, the best way that you can support them is like like you've got a coffee thing, a Ko-fi, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Where people can donate to you. Like, I'm sure
it's a little bit, you know, a little bit goes a long way with this type of stuff.
Like, if you support your artist, I would 100% donate. Like, I do that too. I've got Patreon. I donate to I support 3 to 4 artists. Actually 4 artists. I support them on thing, and most of the time I don't even I look at the rewards, but I don't use them. I've just chosen it.
But you're just happy to just throw some money somewhere.
Like, it's a small subscription. Like I used to pay like $30 every 3 months to play World of Warcraft. Right? I don't play World of Warcraft anymore, so I might as well put that money into.
Did your mum take away your subscription?
Yeah.
Was it all filmed for YouTube?
Me. Yeah. I tried to stick a TV remote up.
I was gonna say that. I hope you got that reference. Oh my god. Are you serious? What are you freaking doing? Oh, I love those kids. But yeah, look, it's you know, that's why I don't only have YouTube. I have Etsy. That's my other source of income, and at the moment it's doing very well, but it's not steady.
Yeah,
you know, you can't predict these things.
You can't.
So that's why I'm always trying to find stuff to, you know, that I can put up on Etsy that people would like or people would dig, and, you know, try and make it affordable. And, you know, it can be tedious work sometimes to create the stuff that I do, but I'm very thankful and happy to be where I am. So it's
passionate about it, so it doesn't feel like a chore.
No, that's it. They're fun to make. So that's why I try and make it affordable, but also covering my own back, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Because, you know, the materials aren't cheap.
Exactly.
It's a specialty thing. And I get it. That's why there's such a premium on these things that I do, and, you know, art supplies for you, like the specialty stuff.
Yeah. Well,
it's crazy. Specialty pens, and
it does eventually add up, like all the printing, like, because I've got to judge how many people would buy the artwork, but not over judge, because then I'm left with, like, the first time I did a convention, I was so excited that I overprinted by like 3 times as much as I sold.
We've all done that.
I've still got prints from the first convention.
So do I. Like, we've all done that. It's because you can't gauge until you do a few of these things.
Just like Patreon and any like the Ko-fi thing, it just helps out extra. And I think,
it all adds up.
If you guys enjoy the stuff that we do, I 100% say support us, and because we put more content out that way. That's it.
It inspires us as well.
Yeah,
it makes us realize that we're not wasting.
Yeah,
we're on the right path. We're not wasting our time, and it never should get to, you know, feeling like you're wasting your time, because this is your thing. You know,
exactly.
I've
got YouTube. Supernova's coming up next month. What about you, man?
I honestly don't think I can make it down to Melbourne, unfortunately, because Melbourne is my favourite convention environment.
Really?
Yeah, the crowd is just amazing, and it's Melbourne, man. I love Melbourne. Melbourne's just great. Oh, right. Oh, you're in for an amazing shock, like the best shock ever. The crowd down there is great. The cosplay scene down there is fantastic. It's very easygoing, like Melbourne.
Yeah.
And the city prides themselves on their comic book shops. They've got so many, and they're so great. They smell like grandpa. It's really, really cool. And like, you can just get lost in Melbourne and not feel unsafe.
Oh, nice.
It's really good, man. So you'll have a very good time. Yeah. But upcoming, I've got the Gold Coast.
That's right.
I've got the Gold Coast Superhero Weekend at the end of next month, which is also Supernova in Coots Supernova. So that's what Nomad's for. And then obviously Sydney Supernova.
Sydney Supernova. That's the big one. That's the one
June.
June.
So that's going to be probably...
That's our OG.
That's our OG, man. That's it. That's
where we met.
That's where we met. I've actually got to post that photo as a throwback of you looking like a construction worker in your fluoros and your scarf.
I was Nathan Drake, but with a fluoro vest.
Yeah. Your safety Drake.
Your safety Drake.
It's like the older years when he's a bit more cautious.
Yeah. We've got to go through the jungle carefully, guys. There's
exactly.
bulldozers around. There's guys with guns.
This is Uncharted OH&S.
People won't shoot us if we have a safety vest.
That's it, exactly. Yeah, and then after that, Oz Comic Con.
I can't remember if I put my application in for Oz Comic Con. I think I did.
You should probably get on that.
Yeah.
Is it one of those things where you should be doing it now? Like, do you have to get in really early?
No.
Oh, that's all right.
They go through a screening process, and I barely made it last year.
Well, didn't you not make it last year?
I didn't make it, and then I was on the waiting list, and someone pulled out, and they were like, "Hey, do you want to come in?" And then it ended up being one of my favorite.
I'm sorry, but yeah, that
ended up being one of my favorite conventions.
Remember, it was home base.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It was nuts, absolutely nuts. So hopefully, well, I know it'll happen again for Supernova.
Oh, Supernova Sydney's gonna be nuts. We've got 2 tables, so we've got space for you guys.
Oh man, that's so awesome.
Instead of you guys just standing.
Oh, I don't mind standing. I'd rather stand. I can't exactly sit in these costumes.
True.
So I think it's going to be...
Oh, I've got another thing.
What?
I've officially started the Pirate Nightwing.
That's right. You've been sending me snippets of costumes and facial hair tests.
It's mostly like, does this look good? Is this trustworthy? Do you think this will come out good? Like,
it will, yeah. And like that duster coat that you sent me, which obviously people can't.
Whole costume. It's not just the coat.
Oh right,
so
okay.
I'll pick stuff out of it
and just kind of Frankenstein it.
Yeah.
I'm
planning on
definitely. You got to keep the swashbuckling moustache.
100%.
I think actually there's moustache on the goatee.
Yeah.
Yes, because it's like a musketeer.
I'm gonna grow the
sideburns
out so it's a bit further down.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep. It's gonna be like Nightwing Musketeer.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, he's very like swashbuckling but suave.
Yeah, like a boss.
I was just thinking like you went the super gritty route with Batman, and I was like, what would Nightwing do? Like Nightwing wouldn't go that gritty route because the gritty route is like there's a reason why he became Nightwing. Yeah. So I was like, all right, so I'll try to complement Chris's gritty with like a suave sort of like swashbuckling thing. Like he's still fucked up, but it's like you know Nightwing and Batman are complete opposites personality wise. Yeah. So obviously that's why your Nightwing's going to be a bit more clean cut. Yeah. I saw my version 1 cowl. I saw. Yeah. Part of that. Yeah. Oh look! If you guys could see his face right now, he looks. Looks like he's just sent his kid off to school for the first day. Yeah, I did. Like the good thing is he's in South Australia now. South Australia. I'm kind of glad he didn't go over the pond. It's kind of nice to know that it's still in the country. Over the pond. Yeah, man. Like I brought that thing into work when I was still working at Qantas to stitch it and. Really? Yeah, I was in a tin shed out on the tarmac. When I was that was my job, to run paperwork out, and I used to bring molds in and cast stuff up like Batfleck belt pieces for clients at the airport. I had resin and everything in my bag. Wow, that was a heavy bag, I'm sure. It was heavy, and it passed through. It's fine to bring through security. Yeah, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing combustible about it. No, not at all. It's just resin. Yeah, it's just liquid. It just looks like liquid. Make the plane heavier. That's it. Yeah, that's it. So if you get it on yourself, you're gonna have a bad time. But yeah, I brought the Pirate Batman cowl in, and everyone loved it. Everyone that would visit me in the shed tried it on. The engineers loved it. That's awesome. Yeah, and it's that was my baby. But you come to a time where there is a lot of stuff sitting around where you could find a better home for it and get some pocket money for it. Exactly. So and plus, everyone loves the second child the best. I know from experience. Yeah. My sister is more loved than I am. No, I'm joking. I love you, man. It's okay.
Your sister does put up with you, though. She's a tough cookie. Literally, she'll kick the shit out of you.
She would.
But yeah, so I felt it was time for it to move on, and it's going to a great bloke. He's a lovely bloke. So he's got a great collection as well. So he's going to display it with pride and everything.
It's a display piece. Huh?
Yeah. He says he's going to display it with all these other pieces.
Does it still smell like your sweat?
You know what? Because it's resin. No.
No.
The version 2. Yeah, I got to clean that shit out with baby wipes.
Oh no.
Because it's latex.
That's right. Yeah.
But I am happy where the version 2 is now.
Are you throwing any upgrades on the version 2 or?
No,
It's pretty good the way it is.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy, man, where it's at. Granted, my hair's getting longer, so for the dreads, there'd be bits of my hair sticking out.
That's all right. Well, I actually had a thought 2 days ago. I was at work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think about this sort of stuff at work. I was like, it'd be cool if your Pirate Batman actually put on fake dreads on the cowl. So he takes the cowl off and he's got like long hair, so it's kind of like that extra bit to
conceal the identity. Yeah, that's a great idea. Because like if I took the cowl off now, it looks like a bandana with dreads, so it can add to the mystery of who is this man.
Yeah, exactly.
And yet it throws people off when they see Bruce Wayne in real life in the pirate days without dreadlocks. Like, it can't be him.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Pirate Batman has dreadlocks.
Yeah.
So none the wiser. I do want to upgrade the burn, the facial burn, to an actual prosthetic with a mold, so I can inject silicone in and make prosthetics each time. Because I want to have my whole eyebrow covered up. Because I always go around it. But if it's a burn, your eyebrows are gone straight away. It's the first thing to go.
Yeah.
Is your hair. So I do want to, I might actually do a video on that, on sculpting, molding, and casting these things.
Take a mold of your head.
I've got it. I've got my live cast. So.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I've got a live cast.
We're talking about taking a mold of my head.
Yeah, I actually want to take a mold of Laura's head.
That's a video and a half.
Yeah, it'd be a fun video, man. And she's always wanted to have one done to display her stuff on it.
Yeah,
like it's a good form to have, and especially if it's something that's custom made to your head. It's best to have something of your head size or shoulder size. So, yeah, and it's just fun to have around. Another version of yourself, just what you want.
Watching you in your room.
Oh man, it's great. The eyes follow you like the Mona Lisa.
Yours has like the cowl on it all the time.
At the moment, it's got the Pirate Batman cowl.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. That helmet kit, the cap helmet kit, that's gone.
Gone?
Yeah. I sold it to mate of mine, Sam, Superhero Experience.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. He has that now because they have a cap set, and it was just sitting around collecting dust.
Yeah.
And I go, look, dude, this kit's just sitting here if you want it, because they were upgrading their cap suit. And they go, oh, we need a helmet. I go, funny that. I've got a urethane kit here with the A and the chin strap. I go, take it. And
nice.
Sold it to them. And it looks great. They did a good job. So, yeah, man.
You got any upcoming videos?
So, I did Captain Without a Country Part 3 yesterday.
That's right, I haven't seen that one yet.
Which is Weathering the Bodysuit. That was my favourite.
It looked sick though, like I saw the photo.
Thanks, man. Very happy with how that turned out. There's only so much you can work with these suits, because they have changed the design of the Nomad suit from the Civil War suit, which doesn't really make sense. It's supposed to be the Civil War suit.
Yeah.
But that's what they do. That's the nature of it. They change costumes all the time. Next week, I should be getting... Actually, today I should be getting the Casey Jones mask from NECA.
Ooh.
That should be arriving today. So next week is going to be Weathering it and the full reveal. And I want to do a forced perception photo with my NECA turtles in the foreground and me in the background.
You're gonna Lord of the Rings it.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. But with them sort of blurred with depth of field. And then after that... Oh, God. I actually want to do a tutorial on making a convention-safe Negan bat using the same bat that I use for Casey. And rubber barbed wire.
I messaged you saying I thought that was a real bat.
Dude, it's $58 from Zing, but it's the best money you'll ever spend.
So when you pressed on it, it was one of those things where, the pencil wobbling trick?
Yeah.
I was just like, what's happening right now?
Yeah, exactly. I remember I came home and I'm walking towards Mum with the bat, and I started bopping my head, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "It's foam." And she's like, "That's crazy." So yeah, I want to do a video on how to construct a convention-safe Negan bat, because they're really cracking down on real bats now.
You know what though? That's actually really good for you to do, because you've got more and more cosplayers coming in, and nothing's worse. Like, I've seen cosplayers getting turned down from conventions because of they're like their main prop.
It's the centerpiece of Negan.
Yeah,
it's what makes Negan Negan. So what I'm thinking is doing the bat and the barbed wire and the weathering and the black circle on Lucille.
Yeah,
and then the bonus round is adding Glen brains onto the barbed wire with resin and brain chunks and using foam for the brain chunks. So that's like a bonus round thing, but it's all convention safe. You know, they've obviously inspected at a convention and realized it's rubber and foam. They're like, yep, fine.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people at the moment having unanswered questions be like, what do I do now? If I want to do Negan or even Harley. Laura's had some trouble with her Harley bat. So this is totally, you know, a good opportunity for people cosplaying as Harley.
Yeah.
Or in my case, Casey Jones.
Casey Jones, that's right.
Yeah.
But with conventions, you're not going to be able to take the hockey stick out.
No, I don't think so.
Just the bat.
Yeah, but it's better than nothing.
No, of course.
And
it's probably, I'd say it's more... You've worked on it more than the hockey stick. It's got the Paint 101.
Oh yeah, the hockey stick. God, the hockey stick took half an hour to do. Yeah. It was more or less waiting for the paint to dry. Well, that's true. And then the bat. I took a lot more pride in the bat, which is funny because Casey Jones is a hockey player.
Right.
And then everyone's like, "Where's the cricket bat? Where's the golf club?" I'm like, "You know how much that stuff weighs once it's in that pack?" You
could probably get a foam cricket bat easily.
Oh, but who makes foam cricket bats?
It's weird. Why? Like, I always wondered why Casey Jones had a cricket bat out of all things.
I love in the first movie how he's like, "Cricket? Cricket? Nobody knows about cricket. You gotta know what a crumpet is to understand cricket." Like golf clubs, everything. But yeah, man. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think that's it. Like, people wanted a longer podcast, so
they got it.
We're slowly pushing the limits on these podcasts. Like, we're still working on the artworks and pushing a lot more of my original stuff.
That's good, man.
For people to enjoy.
I'm keen to see what top secret stuff you have to tell me once you hit stop.
I will tell you.
Okay.
In a second. So, guys, thank you so much for listening to the first episode on the Red Unit Inc.
First inaugural episode on Red Unit Inc. Man, congratulations!
Thank you very much.
Fun as always. Just quite frankly, shooting the shit.
Yeah.
Shooting the poop.
We've got the links in the description if you guys want to check those out. I'm currently working on putting the podcast on Spotify and SoundCloud. Well, it's actually already on SoundCloud. I'm uploading it as we speak. So yeah, see you guys next time.
Perfect, man. Thanks for listening, guys. Chat soon.